Hello again, gamers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm the Captain.
I'm Lynn.
And today we're going to be reviewing and talking about and showing you how to play Fire Tower. Subtitle is Fight Fire with Fire. So this game was designed by Gwen Ruel and Sam Bryant. Is that how that's pronounced?
I don't know.
I think so. And was published by Runaway Parade Games. I'm going to show their logo right there. So I want to give a big thank you to the designers and the publisher for sending us this copy of Fire Tower to check out and play and review and film this content with. So thank you, Runaway Parade, and thank you, Gwen and Sam. Okay, so before we get too into this, I do want to say I've got a ton of links in the description down below that you can check out at your leisure. There's a link to BoardGameCaptain.com, which is a great hub for all things Board Game Captain. And Lynn and I have started doing some semi-regular blog posts over there. There's also a link to our Teespring store. You can get some cool Board Game Captain merch, like this t-shirt that says, I drink and I game, it's what I do, and it has a mug of beer and a D20 on it, as well as other t-shirts and mugs, etc. And there's a link to my my Patreon, if you're in a position to and would like to support the channel. Okay, so let's start with the age.
Right here.
So it's 2 to 4 players. It's ages 14 and up, and it's listed as 15 to 30 minutes. So let's start with the 2 to 4 players, because actually I've got a lot to say on this. Do you have anything you want to say on the player counts, or?
No, I think the player counts work well.
Well, specifically what I'm going to refer to is the fact that I really like this at 2 and I really like this at 4. The reason being, at 4 you can play a team game where you sit across from your partner, you have opposite fire towers, and if both you and your teammates' fire tower are destroyed, your team loses and the other team wins. But at 3 players, you have to play in the free-for-all, and then there's player elimination. And so I'm not a big fan of doing with the player elimination, but at 2 players and 4 players doing the team game, which the rules are in there in the rule book, I think is great. So my 2 cents is I really like this at 2 and 4. But you I mean, maybe because it's so short, you think you disagree on the?
I don't know. I think it's just fine.
Oh, okay. Ages 14 and up feels like a significant overestimate to me. This is not a very complex game.
Yeah.
Like, do you agree?
Yeah, I don't know if there's like regulations with like if pieces are below a certain diameter, yeah, they can't like rate it lower. Not
lower than 14. I mean, like they could have rated it lower. Like they could have said 10 and up.
Yeah.
I mean that's for you're thinking ages 3 and up in regard to. This is I think this is a significant overestimate. I don't think kids in your house are going to have any problem getting this at like 10 and up. I don't think it's an issue. I think the 14 and up is a big overestimate. Now, in regard to the 15 to 30 minutes, once you've played once or twice, yeah, this is going to come in really fast. This is a really quick game. Do you agree?
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to open this up. I'm going to show you what comes in the box when you get a game of Fire Tower. So you have the rules. That's first off. Very nicely done rule book, full color, lots of diagrams and pictures in here to kind of show you what it's talking about, explain how the fire spreads and how the cards work, which is really nice. I really like this. Then we've got the board, and I think the board is gorgeous. Like the colors are vibrant. The art style is really nice. I really dig the board. What do you think on that?
I like the board.
It's very pretty, isn't it?
It's very neon, and I like neon stuff.
Yeah, very bright colors. Then we've got some purple little wooden discs that are used for the fire breaks. My only complaint on these is that there's not enough of them, but if you have other counters sitting around, you can use them. Because there is not supposed to be a limit to the number of fire breaks. You have a really nice 8-sided die that has all of the directions, north, south, east, and west on it, each of them twice. And you have a wooden arrow and a wooden fire blowing in a particular direction, kind of meeple that you can use either one of to show wind direction. And then we've got
a little bag.
Yeah, show the bag and the fire tokens, because that's gorgeous.
A little bag. Supposed to be fire. You put them on
the little fire gems
on the little squares.
They're very pretty.
It means that part of the forest is ablaze.
Then you've got a 2-sided wind direction here. One side just has a standard kind of map compass on it. The other side Shows it with evergreen needles.
I like that. Why don't we use that side? I like that side.
You like that one better?
Yeah.
I like the one with the map compass. Well, we'll have to try. We'll have to start using this one sometimes. And then you've got these tiles. When you're playing 3 or 2 players, you can use them to cover up some of the fire towers on the corners of the board. You'll be seeing that during our tutorial. And the other side is when a player has been eliminated, you will show that their tower is on fire. And then you've got the cards. Now, the cards are really nice. They're linen finish, super smooth. The artwork on them is fairly basic, but the cards themselves are good quality. And I think they're great. I really like the backs of them. The art on the fronts is a bit basic, but they very easily explain what they do. So functional is the keyword, I think. What do you think?
I didn't even look at the artwork. I'm always looking at the little diagram on the bottom showing how to place the gems.
And that's what's the most important thing. They're very easy to understand what they do. All right, so we're going to take you over to the table. We're going to run you through most of a game of Fire Tower, show you how this game plays, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about how this game plays and feels, and we're going to rate it and review it. Okay, so here we are set up to play a 2-player game of Fire Tower. So in order to set up the game, you put the board out in the middle of the table. You place the bag with the fire tokens near the board, as well as placing the fire break tokens near the board. This container does not come with the game. This is one of my own, just for tokens. You also place the wind direction marker near the board and the deck near the board. You shuffle up the deck, deal 5 cards to the players, and then if you're going to be playing with the extra cards of the Firestorm and the mutual aid card, which we have decided to play with, you can shuffle them in. If you're playing 3 or 4 players, and in the case of a 4-player game, are not playing a team game, you can decide to shuffle in the Shadow of the Forest card, which we are not going to be playing with. Now, in this case, playing a 2-player game, we put these cards over the other towers here to make them no longer a tower, because we are only using 2 towers on the board, so the other 2 corners have cards over them that show them being blocked out by just normal forest. And then we're ready to play. So now we're going to run you through how this game works just by playing it and show you. We each have a starting 5-card hand dealt us from the deck. We've stuck the other cards in. We've each been given a bucket card, which we can use once for the entire game, which hopefully will come up. If not, I'll explain how that works. And now we're ready to start. So the first thing we got to do is we have to roll the die to decide the current wind direction. Lynn, what do we got?
East.
Okay, so Lynn's going to place a arrow there. The game actually comes with both an arrow and a little fire meeple here, if you will, and either one of them can be used to show which direction the wind direction is headed in. So it is headed east. Now, the player whose tower is closest to that direction gets to go first. That's Lynn, because either east or south would have gotten her to go first, because she's playing the blue tower over there, while I am playing the red tower over here. So the first thing Lynn does on her turn is she's going to spread the fire in the direction east. Now the 4 squares in the middle of the board are on fire. She can choose any square that is orthogonally adjacent to one of those squares that is not currently on fire to put a fire gem on. In this case, it would have been this square or this square next to it. She obviously picked that. Then she's going to either play 1 card, do its action, and then draw a card, or she can discard any number of cards from her hand to then draw back up to her full 5-card hand before I wind up going. So, Lynn, what are you going to choose to do?
I'm going to place Scratch Line, where I can place 2 Fire Break tokens.
Hey, pass me the Scratch Line. I want to talk about that to the camera. So this is allows you to place Fire Break tokens. Now, when placing Fire Break tokens, you place them in the pattern shown here. It can be mirrored. It can be changed a little bit. Lynn has turned it 90 degrees to block, put some blocking area over there. Now, the fire cannot spread onto those, but certain cards that allow you to spread fire rapidly may allow you to bypass them and get past them. When placing new Fire Break tokens, you're not permitted to make them orthogonally adjacent to Fire Break tokens already on the board. There is 1 card that allows you to bypass that rule as well, but we'll get to that if that card comes up. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to spread the fire now that it is my turn. And I am going to spread it over here because that will bring it a little bit closer to Lynn's tower there. Then I'm going to play 1 card from my hand, and I've chosen to play Flare Up. So Flare Up allows me to spread fire 3 in a row adjacent to a fire gem already on the board, and I don't have to spread in the direction that the wind is currently blowing. So I'm going to get 3 from the bag and immediately spread all of them south to get the fire much closer to Lynn's fire tower, because the object of the game is to burn down your opponent's fire tower before they burn down yours. So that's going to be it for me. I'm going to draw one more card, and then it's going to be Lynn's turn.
Okay, spreading it east. And then I'm going to play change direction of the wind to west.
So now when you change the direction of the wind, you could either change it to the direction listed on the card, you could roll a die, or you could place 1 fire gem east, whatever the direction was in that wind direction. So Lynn has changed it to west, which means the fire is now coming back towards me, and I don't like that. Did you draw your card?
Yes.
So I'm going to spread the fire. I'm going to spread it all the way up by Lynn's side of the board, though, because I don't want it spreading in my direction. And I've decided that what I'm going to do is I'm going to play an explosion. So this is the card that allows you to break the rule about not having fire breaks placed adjacent to other fire breaks. Though I will not be breaking the rule with this current explosion. What it is you pick a current space on fire, you replace that fire gem with a fire break token, and then every adjacent space to it catches on fire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it to pick this particular fire gem to explode. It makes a fire break, but then everything around it catches on fire. So this is going to help me rapidly spread the fire towards Lynn's side of the board, even though she's changed the wind direction to now be headed west and therefore away from her. And I'm going to draw back up to my 5-card hand, and I'm all done.
I'm going to spread it west.
Of course you are.
And then I'm going to play deforest, reforest, and I'm going to place a fire break token on a vacant space.
Very well done. So now that one is diagonally, but not orthogonally adjacent to this one already on the board. It's diagonally adjacent, which means it's going to properly slow the spread over there on Lynn's side of the board. So now, Lynn, you have already drawn back up, yes? So now the wind direction is west. I'm going to spread it over there in a westerly direction. And then I'm going to choose to play Dozer Line to put a couple of fire breaks out here, and I'm going to put them right there to stop the fire spreading towards me over on that part of the board. And then it is Lynn's turn. Well played.
And then I'm going to play Fire Engine.
Uh-oh.
I can remove up to 4 fire gems in the shape of a square. So I'm just going to remove these 3.
Yeah, so now the water lands on that fire break and of course does nothing because there's no fire there, but it does remove a whole bunch of fire from Lynn's side of the board. Well played. So of course I have to continue spreading the fire in a westerly direction. I want to keep it on Lynn's side of the board and as far away from me as possible if I can. And then I'm going to do another flare up. I'm going to spread another 3 fire over here in a south direction before drawing a new card and passing on to Lynn's turn.
I'm going to change the wind direction to north.
Oh, you... Well, of course you did. So I have to spread the fire north now. So I'm going to spread it from here, though, because that's the least damaging area to me. But as soon as I do that, I'm going to play a card to change the wind direction to east, which is, of course, devastating for Lynn because there is a ton of fire that is west of her. So yeah, that works fine by me. Oh, that's a good place to put it. Least damaging to you.
And I'm going to play Burning Snag.
Uh-oh.
I have to place 4 fire gems, up to 4 fire gems in the shape of a square, and at least 1 must be orthogonally adjacent to an existing fire gem.
Oh, that's not good. You just got completely like past my fire breaks over there. Yeah, that definitely could have been better. But we still have the fire headed east, so I'm going to start heading that fire right towards your tower. I'm going to do an airdrop to put out up to 3 fires in a row. to put out these two fires over here from over by me. And then I'm going to pass it to Lynn's turn. As far away from you as possible. Yeah.
I'm going to play Scratch Line.
Oh, getting some fire breaks. I think I know what you're doing. Yeah, I figured you might do that. I did. I figured you might do that. Well, the fire is still headed in a direction that I can work with here. And then I'm going to play Ember, which allows me to move one fire gem on the board to any space that is orthogonally adjacent to an existing fire gem on the board. I'm going to take this one from my side and move it all the way up there to your side.
I'm going to play Deforest, Reforest again.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to pop one right
there. Well played. Well played indeed. Wow, that was really good. Well, I have to spread east, and I unfortunately can't spread the fire in there, so I'm going to place one over here. But then I'm going to play the Deforest, Reforest, and I'm going to use it to remove a fire break, which is the other possible action you can do with it. And I'm going to take that one off there.
I'm going to play the Fire Engine, remove up to 4 fire gems in the shape of a square. I'm going to do these 3.
Oh, okay. Well played. I'm going to spread a fire there, and then I'm going to play another Ember card, which allows me again to move one of the fires to somewhere adjacent to a fire to continue to spread that fire right towards Lynn's tower.
I'm going to play another Fire Engine.
Jeez. How many of those do you got? All right, I'm going to put that there, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change the wind direction to south now that you've spread this fire all the way to this side of the board. And we're going to come from you at a different direction. Oh, I drew the Firestorm. The fire is intensifying. You must play this card as soon as you draw it from the deck. So now when we draw the Firestorm, a bunch of interesting things happen. So the first thing we do is we roll the die for a new random direction that the fire is going to spread in every possible direction of that direction. Lynn, do the honors. What direction are we going to get?
North.
Okay, ooh, that's not good. So the fire is going to spread everywhere north that it possibly can. That's no good for me at all, because that's going to be a lot of fire spreading in my direction over here, as you can see from where Lynn's putting it on the board. So let's see, we need one there, and there. There we go. Then we're going to roll to get a new direction for the wind. So the wind was headed south, so we have to get a direction other than south.
East.
So the wind is now headed east. Then we each can discard as many cards as we would like and draw back up to get some new cards. I'm going to discard 1 card and draw 2 to have my full 5-card hand.
I'm discarding 1.
Okay, and then it is Lynn's turn because that happened at the end of my turn.
Okay, so wind is going east.
Indeed it is, and that is least damaging to you.
I'm going to play Dozer Line.
Uh-oh. Where are those going? Okay, fair enough. All right, so my turn. I'm going to spread the fire east up here towards Lynn, and then I'm going to play Explosion. Now remember, this is the one card that does allow you to put the fire break adjacent to other fire breaks, but that's fine by me because it's going to spread fire past her line there, which is what I'm intending to do. So I can get some fire very close to Lynn's tower, and then that's going to be it for my turn.
And then I'm going to use this card to re-roll the wind die.
Oh, yes, because remember, you can use any direction to just do a re-roll. So Lynn is, now when you re-roll, it has to give a new direction, so it's going to have to be something other than east.
It's east.
So we re-roll until we get something different.
South. That's not what I wanted either.
Okay. Actually, that's better for you because
how?
Well, I can't blow the wind into your tower right now, which I was about to try to do. So I'm going to spread the fire south. Unfortunately, it's not going to be somewhere there, but I'll put it here. And then I'm going to change the wind direction back to east because ain't I a stinker? And then that's going to be it for my turn.
I'm going to change the wind direction to north.
Uh-oh. Okay, so I'm gonna you know what? Hold on. Actually, I'm gonna put the north one here because that's like least dangerous to me. And then, because now I'm getting really a little bit worried about what's gonna happen with your new wind direction. I'm gonna do an airdrop, and I'm gonna put out this fire all here with my airdrop, and then I will draw another card. Oh, it's the mutual aid card. So we got to play it immediately when we draw it. I have to pick either place a fire gem, place a fire break, or discard and redraw 3 cards. And then we all get to do that. So I am going to place a fire gem. So I'm going to place a fire gem right there, but then Lynn will get to place a fire gem as well. And then that happened on the end of my turn, so it is Lynn's turn.
Okay, I am...
Uh-oh, yeah, it's starting to come towards me now a little bit.
Oh, please, acting like you're in trouble.
I'm not.
And then I'm going to do a flare-up.
Uh-oh, now I am. Now I am. Now I'm in trouble.
You're like nowhere near being in trouble.
Oh, there's a lot of fire coming in my direction. I'm not a fan of that. Okay, let's see what I can do about that, though. I'm going to spread the fire to the north, but I'm going to do it way over here where it's fine by me. And then I'm going to drop a fire engine to remove these 2 fire gems here. And that'll be it for my turn.
I'm going to do an explosion.
Oh, no.
I'm going to do it on this dude.
Oh, that's not good. This is turning around on me a little bit here. I don't like that. Oh, wow. You got some fire very close to my tower all of a sudden. Yeah, not good. All right, so I have to spread fire to the north, though I don't want to. So I'm going to spread it here, but then I'm going to change the direction back to the east, which is much better in my opinion, and that'll be it for me.
I'm going to play Smoke Jumper.
Oh.
So I choose a fire gem and remove the fire gems from any of the 8 spaces surrounding it. The middle fire gem must remain. So I'm going to choose this one so I can take
well played.
all of these away.
Well played. Very well done. Okay, well, I'm gonna, but the wind is still blowing easterly, so I'm gonna spread it right there towards your tower, and I'm gonna do a burning snag, which allows me to place 4 fire gems in a square adjacent to one of the, with at least one of them being adjacent to one of the fire gems. So I am gonna set your tower on fire, but it's not over yet because it's gotta be the last space in the corner on fire to burn it down.
Still going east.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to use my bucket.
Now, the bucket allows you to put out fires up to 3 in a row, and it's the only way to remove fire from your tower, because your normal cards cannot remove fire for your tower. So, and when you use it, you flip it over, and you get the ability on the other side, which since Lynn is using it, go ahead and flip it over. And the ability on the other side says that if your bucket is empty and there's a fire in your tower, you can use your turn to discard a set of 3 either water cards or fire break cards to place 2 fire gems on the board. This is a way to help you come back from if you're already doing poorly. Like right now, Lynn is doing poorly. She's got some fire right next to the corner of her tower there. She's going to get to remove 3 of them, well, up to 3 of them.
I'm going to do these 2.
A smart move. But because of her already being in danger, at this point in the game on, while there is burning spaces in her tower, she could, as her action, discard 3 water or 3 fire break tokens to just place 2 fire tokens anywhere adjacent to fire gems already on the board. Don't have to be going in the wind direction. So will you be doing that? Do you have 3 water or 3 fire breaks to discard?
I do, but I want to use a card.
Oh, okay then. We'll use your card.
I'm going to change the wind direction to west.
Well, I understand why you wanted to do that. that will possibly save you. Okay, so I have to spread the fire west, though I don't want to. And I'm going to spread it over here as far away from me as possible. Now, once I have done that, I am going to do another airdrop to remove 3 of the fire gems in a row from the board. And then I am going to draw a card. Uh-oh.
And then I'm going to do a flare-up.
Oh. Oh, no. Not good. So it's my turn. I'm going to spread fire west. I'm going to do it over here because it's pretty far away from my tower. Of course, my tower is on fire, but let's put that out. So I'm gonna use the 3 here to put these 3 fire tokens out. Now, I do not get the ability of Reckless Abandon like Lynn has because my tower is no longer on fire. So now let's see. What do I want to do? Do I want to try to stop the tower's fire coming towards me, or do I want to put some more fire out? I'm going to try to stop it coming towards me. I'm going to play Scratch Line, which allows me to play 2 fire breaks, and I'm going to put them here and here to try to stop the fire coming towards me. Though, of course, there is a hole in my fire break line. But that's going to be it for my round.
I'm going to play Burning Snag.
Uh-oh, that's a big one. That makes a big square, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so it gets to jump over the fire break there because that's what it does. Of course, the fire break itself cannot catch on fire. That's a problem. I'm going to spread the fire over here, and then I'm going to do a smoke jumper card, and I'm going to do it from this one here, which allows me to put out all the fire around it, but of course that fire has to stay burning, the one that I chose. So it's a bit of a relief, though, from the current fire headed in my direction. Okay.
I'm going to change the wind direction to north.
Oh. At which point I'm going to spread the fire to the north, but then I am going to change the wind direction to east. And this is how you play a game of Fire Tower. You go back and forth changing the wind direction, putting out fires, putting fire breaks that the fire can't just spread onto. You need cards to kind of burn past it, as well as spreading fire around the board. As you can see, you're never really out of it until you are, because Lynn keeps changing the wind direction back towards me and then spreading it towards my tower. Now, to be out of it, the corner space on the tower has to be caught on fire. This one for me, or Lynn, point to yours. That one for Lynn. Now, Lynn is definitely in the more danger at the moment because I've managed to surround her fire tower. But if you do manage to catch that on fire, you put this over your tower, showing that it's fully in flames, and you are done. Now, in a 2-player game of Fire Tower, as soon as one of the players has their tower burnt down, that's the end of the game, and the other player wins. So now we're going to head back over. We're going to talk about how this game plays and how it feels, and we're going to rate it and review it. Welcome back. So that's how you play a game of Fire Tower, at least at 2 players. Again, there is a alternate mode for 4 players where you team up with the person across the table from you, which I really like. I think it's my favorite way to play this game. But I do also quite like it at 2 players, for that matter. So let's start with negatives so we can end on the positives. Lynn, do you got a negative for Fire Tower to throw out?
Not really.
You don't have any to think of?
Not that I can think of offhand.
So one thing I want to throw out, negative-wise, and this can be a negative for some people, but it's not a negative for everybody. This is a very light game. It looks, based on the size of the box, like you might think this is kind of a middleweight, but this is actually maybe heavier end of lightweight. So, like, if you're expecting something a bit more involved, this is like a beer and pretzels game. This is you have a few beers, you're throwing cards down, you're doing take that mechanics, you're doing a bit of, like, you know, area control and pattern forming to get the fire to go in the right direction. But mostly it's just sort of like getting the cards and doing the hand management and doing the take that mechanics to try to get your opponent's fire tower burned down before yours. And it's fairly light in that regard. So now I know I was sounding positive because I enjoyed this game, but some people might find that as a negative because it is a fairly light game. That's other than that, maybe just that there is a fair amount of randomness in it, which kind of goes hand in hand with it being a very light game. this is a very random game. There's a lot of random card draws, and then also sometimes if you have a card that's going to change the wind and direction you don't want, you can do the reroll of the die, which again is another bit of randomness. There's a lot of randomness in it. What do you think of my two things that might be kind of negative?
I don't mind either one. At least in this game, like sometimes
you think so, but not here.
Yeah, sometimes randomness it's annoying, but I don't feel like it's annoying in this game.
Okay.
I feel like the randomness makes sense because of the way that
Okay. All right.
Fireworks,
Fair enough. Okay, so you
wind direction changes,
so
and then the fire is going to go the other way.
Okay.
I mean, it's random, but that makes sense in the context of the gameplay.
So you see what I'm saying, but you don't agree.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. How about why don't you throw out a positive then? Because you're obviously sitting on a bunch of positives over there. Go ahead.
Well, I actually I like the artwork.
You mean like for the board and the cover?
Which I usually don't care about the artwork, but
this one really clicks with you.
Yeah.
I think it is a pretty looking game. I'm going to agree with you. I don't think the artwork on the cards stand out very much. They're fairly basic. They're like sketches. But the artwork on the cover and the artwork on the board is beautiful. And the artwork on the board combined with the beautiful gems on the table, it has a nice table presence. And I do like that. I do enjoy games with nice table presences. I posted some pictures of this recently. And I got a lot of people saying, ooh, what's that? That looks really cool. Because it does. It looks really cool on the table. So I'm going to agree with you there. So now, my next thing I want to say in regard to a positive, this is a really fun game with some nice variants in here. There's optional cards. We showed some of them. We used the Firestorm card and the what was the other one where you all help each other out? It's like
it was mutual aid or
mutual
something?
aid card. Yeah. So those are optional, but I really like them, so we use them. See, here's the thing: they add even more crazy randomness in, but it's fine because this game is crazy random as it is. So I don't mind just being like, yeah, if you're gonna do it, go for it. Go like full steam ahead. Like, oh, there's some crazy extra cards that can make it even crazier. Yes, please. Just throw them in. So like that was my 2 cents on those. Like I like the if you're gonna go for the feel of the crazy randomness, go for it. Just do it. Just throw it all in there and have fun. This is a beer and pretzels game, and just go for that. What are your thoughts on that?
I didn't think it was like crazy randomness. Like you make it sound like.
Well, I mean, there's a lot going on. A big part of the crazy randomness is really just what cards you get to draw.
Yeah.
Because you can wind up with a handful of water cards or a handful of fire cards. You never really know. So any other positives you want to throw out there?
I think I just like this style of gameplay. I find it very satisfying to place things in squares in a certain direction.
So like the pattern forming and the... kind of, it's sort of pattern forming. I'm not sure what you would call it. A grid placement. I'm not really sure.
I don't know.
It's. There's definitely a lot of take that in this. You usually don't like take that though, but did you like it in this?
Well, because you're not like it. Most of the time, it's just like in someone's direction. It's not actually at them until like the very end, and by then, like they're probably gonna lose. Anyway, like by the time your tower's on fire, like you're probably not winning.
Yeah, you're in a lot of trouble unless your opponent's tower's on fire too.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're probably in a lot of trouble. And maybe if you got the wind direction away from you, then you might be okay. If you're both in that terrible situation. But yeah, no, I mean it's definitely very, very fun. I enjoy this game. You definitely liked it better than me though. Did you have any other positives you wanted to throw out?
Not that I can think of right now.
So should we get into the rating then?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a fairly light game. There's not a huge amount to talk about. It is what it is. If you watch the tutorial version, you saw exactly what this game is, which is a lot of card plays, a lot of. You place a gem at the beginning of every round, which spreads the fire in the current wind direction. Then you play a card that could put out some fires, or build some fire breaks, or set new fires, or change the wind direction. And then you draw back up, and your opponent does the same. So yeah, it's a lot of that again and again, but it can feel different enough from turn to turn and game to game to keep your interest. This is a fun little game. So I'm going to rate it first because I know Lynn's going to be higher because as much as she's been reserved, she's been gaga over this game. She likes to act all hipster on camera and not like reveal how much she enjoys the game, but it's going to be a high rating. I don't know what it's going to be, but I know it's going to be very high. Now, I am very positive on this game too. I just don't think I'm going to be as high as Lynn. So I'm going to give Fire Tower 7 out of 10 stars because I quite enjoy it. I think this is a really good beer and pretzels game. This is a really good icebreaker game for the beginning of the night. This is a really good game to play between heavier games. If it were smaller, I'd like it as a game to take to like the pub or coffee house, but the board might be a bit too big for that. That said, though, I quite enjoy Fire Tower. I think this is really fun. When you're looking for a lighter game, something, that you don't have to spend time between games building up an army to play, something where you just want to throw it out on the table at game night on a moment's notice or to introduce people who are new to gaming to, this is a great game for that. And that's why I gave it 7 out of 10 stars.
Okay. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10 stars.
That is very high. That is a very high rating.
It's 1 point higher.
Yeah, but 8 is like, 7 is like, I really like this game. 8 is like, I love this game. I mean, that's really high.
Okay.
Don't be so hipster.
Anyway, so, I mean, it's fun to play, and the rules are easy. You can pretty much just set up and go. Mm-hmm. The cards are very self-explanatory. Mm-hmm. And that's what I like. I don't like to have to listen to rules for an hour before you can even start playing.
Yeah, you can learn this really quick.
Most of the time, the last 45 minutes of those rules, I haven't been paying attention.
Yeah. So this one's right up your alley then.
Yes.
All right, so that is definitely a 2 thumbs up. In fact, Lynn's thumb might be way up there because that's an 8. But this is definitely a 2 thumbs up review from us here at the Board Game Kaptain. We've been having a lot of fun with Fire Tower. Again, if you buy this, I highly recommend checking out the team version variant. I think it's really cool, especially to do as like a couples game. We played it with Alex and Sabrina where we did guys versus girls, and it was great fun. It was really good like that, which we accidentally did just because we sat in the wrong spots. We were originally going to do couple versus couple, but then we wound up accidentally sitting in the wrong places, and we're like, we'll just go with it. But yeah, this game is very good. So there you go. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns either on this video or the game of Fire Tower, feel free to put them in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this review and tutorial and you'd like to see us do more like it, be sure to give it a like, share it on all forms of social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Kaptain. That's Kaptain spelled with a K on YouTube. And until next time, game on.